Hey there, and welcome back to Broke Up, Not Broken. If you're going through a divorce, don't worry, you are not alone. Many of us have been right where you are, including myself. This is your one-stop shop for mastering your finances throughout the entire divorce process. So today we have a good one for you. We're going to be talking about financial assessments and inventorying your assets and how important this is to the divorce process, ensuring you get a fair and equitable settlement in your divorce. So grab a cup of coffee, grab a cocktail, buckle up, because this is going to be a good one. So let me just back up a second here, just reintroduce myself for those of you that are new to this show. I am Jamie Lima, certified financial planner and also a certified divorce financial analyst, focusing and spending a lot of my time helping people navigate the financial nuances of their divorce. So I'm a certified financial planner, certified divorce financial analyst, and my job on a daily basis is to walk people like you, my beloved listeners, through the divorce process. And we do this through my company called Allegiant Divorce Solutions. We are a 100% virtual company. We work with people all over the country. So I don't care if you're listening to us in California or Alaska or Nevada or Florida, we can work with you. And that's the benefit, that one of the blessings that COVID provided to us about 4 years ago now, moving us to a 100% virtual environment. And we've never looked back. It's been an amazing experience. And we empower listeners all over the country now, and empower our clients in all the financial aspects of divorce. So when you start the divorce process, and many states will require what's called an income and expense declaration, right? You need to understand what this is all about. An income and expense declaration or financial assessment or financial affidavit, they're all the same thing. Every state calls them something different, which can be a little confusing, but we're all talking about the same thing. In order to put this together, and the main reason why you want to put this together is to secure a fair and equitable outcome in the divorce. The first thing I want you to do, though, before you start going down the path of filling this document out, is I want you to take some time to pause and complete a financial inventory for yourself. On our website, allegiantds.com, ALLEGIANT, am I spelling that right? Yes, ds.com, allegiantds.com. There's a free resources tab on the website, and you can download a household inventory list, an asset list. There's a bunch of free resources on the website. You don't have to give us your first name, last name, and email like some other companies do. It's totally free. So I encourage you to go to the website, take a look around, and also look at some of the free resources that are available to you. I'm going to provide links to the free resources are on the website anyway, and on the landing page there for the podcast. So, and in the show notes, all the information's there. So don't worry about that. Especially if you're driving, do not stop, and do not, grab a pen right now. All the information is available for you later. So I want you to take that financial inventory and walk around your house. I want you to look at every room, and I want you to document all your possessions, right? Grandma's fine china, artwork, your television, your furniture, all of it, right? We don't need to be counting underwear, because I've actually had clients do that, where they're counting personal items like underwear and socks and miscellaneous clothes. You don't need to go that far. But anything of any major importance to you, you want to understand who owns it, when you brought it into the marriage, if you bought it during the marriage, and what its approximate value is. That's going to go a long way in helping you start to organize all of your assets. And then we get into, which is a perfect segue into the concept of assets, which is what I want to talk about next. The concept of assets in the context of divorce includes everything from all of your property, all your personal belongings, your investments, your retirement accounts, your bank accounts, and the like, right? You want to be documenting all this stuff. From all of your collections, we mentioned it already, the Grimace Fine China, all the way through to retirement accounts that you have at work. All of that stuff needs to be documented. Those are your financial assets. Those are the assets that are going to, in the context of divorce, are going to be incredibly important. In divorce, there are two main types of assets conceptually, right? There's marital asset, and there's also separate property or premarital and inheritance like assets. Your marital assets are those things that you bought or accumulated during the duration of your marriage. Your premarital, and after you've separated, you'll have some post-separation or post-divorce assets as well, and maybe some liabilities, which we'll go into next. But you want to make sure you understand that every state operates a little bit differently in the realm of marital and separate property, and every state is a little bit different relative to the rules around dividing up assets. Some states are equitable division. Others are they're non-equitable, right? And there's other states are like the state of California is usually divides things up 50-50, right? It is very important to gather all of your documents and understand who owns what, and also collect account statements relative to those accounts, because you want to make sure that you are able to document all of the stuff as you're preparing to go down the path of negotiations. Not only do you have to focus on the financial assets, but you also have to understand the debts and the liabilities that you have. So in debt, if we're looking at debt, when I say debt and liabilities are basically interchangeable, but those are your credit cards. Those are your student loans, 401k loans. That's very important to understand how to divide that up. Those types of things. Your mortgage are liabilities and debts that you incur, car loans, things of that nature. You have to understand who owns what. Is it a joint liability? Is it an individual liability? That is incredibly important and key to being able to get a fair and equitable settlement when it comes time for negotiations. Keep in mind, you're documenting all of this stuff as you go. You're starting with your personal belongings, like we've already talked about. Walk around the house, document everything, then look at your retirement accounts and other assets that you have, brokerage accounts and so on, 401ks, whatever. Then you're going to start walking through the process of tackling some of the debts and liabilities that you have. Once the dust is settled there, okay, you are now going to walk through the exercise of documenting all of your income and your expenses. All of this is part of the financial affidavit that you're going to have to provide to the courts. So I'm hopeful that walking you through this step by step is going to make it a little more practical for you and not be so overwhelming. So we've talked about the assets and liabilities and all the things we own. Now we're talking about the income and expenses that we have. If you have a side gig, if you're doing some pet sitting or dog walking, or you run a small craft fair type of thing. I don't know what they call them these days, but if you do something off to the side where you're earning money, you need to document this. Right? You have to document it and make sure that you're very transparent on the income that you have. You have to understand what do you have coming in salary-wise, your hourly wages, even your investment income, interest and dividends, things of that nature are going to all count as it relates towards income for you. You also want to make sure that you assess all of your expenses, right? What are your fixed costs? What are your variable expenses? What about your discretionary stuff? Your vacation budget, your gifts to charity. If any of you have kids, my wife and I have 5 between the two of us. We are a blended family. And until they started getting jobs, they were very, very expensive. Very expensive. And I recognize the cost that the burden you bear having children. So you want to make sure that you're including all of the costs that it takes to keep the kids in their athletics and after school activities, extracurricular activities, things of that nature. Those are all your discretionary spending, and you want to make sure that you document it. I want to pause here and talk about budgeting. Budgeting, unfortunately, is not taught in school. They don't teach you this stuff in school. They teach you how to basket weave or make pillows. And my high school was famous for all we ever did was play badminton for some reason. I don't know why that was the case, but that's all I ever took away from high school. So they don't teach you this stuff in high school. And budgeting is one thing that people miss all the time. So you need to focus on understanding what you have coming in, what you have going out, and what you have left over, if anything, at the end of the month, because it is going to, if you work with somebody like myself, we're going to want to understand that information and the lay of the land, so to speak, there, so we can help you manage your cash flow after the divorce is settled and give you a better sense of what your life is going to look like 5, 10, 20 years into the future after the divorce is over. All that stems from budgeting and understanding how much you have coming in and how much you have going out. So you need to make sure you understand all of that. And I know it's overwhelming. We deal with this all the time, and people get frustrated with it, but you have to take the time to do this because it will jam you up. Not to mention, you need all this information to present to the courts anyway. And if you're going to work with someone like myself as a certified divorce financial analyst at my company, Allegiant Divorce Solutions, you're going to need to provide this information anyway. So there are a lot of tools that are out there to help you with this, though. Let's talk about a little bit about that. To help you create this inventory, there are a lot of tools. There's on our website, as I mentioned, if you go to the website, allegiantds.com, there are free resources on this website that will allow you to do this work. If you're not a pen and paper type of person and you're like the more digital experience, companies like Rocket Money are out there. There are You Need a Budget is an app that you can download. These are not free resources, right? And they're probably loaded with a bunch of ads and so on. And this is not a commercial for any of them, so buyer beware. But there are a lot of free resources out there that can give you the support you need and help make this a little bit easier, that are either low cost or maybe you subscribe for a few months just to help you get a handle on it, and then you cancel the subscription later. That would be one thing that I would consider. So to wrap this all up in a bow and to make this less overwhelming, step number one, you're going to go back and you're going to go to the website. You're going to download the inventory worksheet that we have. And I would encourage you to walk around your house and document all of your belongings. Again, you're going to want to try to get an understanding of, is this my particular thing? Is this my spouse's thing? Is this a joint piece of property? Did I bring it into the marriage? All that. And what is the value of it? You want to make sure you document that as well. You're going to go through and look at all of your assets after that. 401ks, your other retirement accounts, your brokerage accounts, your checking and savings accounts, so on and so forth. And you're going to document all that. Who owns what? Is it joint? Is it community property? Is it individual ownership, separate property? Did I inherit this money? All of that has to be documented. You're going to then go to your debts, walk through your debts, mortgage, car loans, student loans, credit cards, you name it. Same process. And then you're going to take some time to look at your income and expenses. And here's another thing. You're going to want to understand what your soon-to-be ex-spouse's income and expenses look like now as well. How much are they bringing in to the household? Do they have side gigs? Do they have deferred compensation at work? Do they have other benefits that are that they receive through work, stock options, things of that nature? You want that information because all of this ties back into helping you get a fair and equitable settlement when it comes time for negotiations. If you don't understand where all the bodies are buried, so to speak, you're going to be doing yourself a disservice, and you're going to be on defense, not offense, when it comes to settlement. So hopefully this is helpful. This is a lot to absorb in a short amount of time. I feel like the best thing to do is just take it one step at a time. So download the inventory worksheet on the website. It's totally free. Again, no first name, last name, email. We don't spam people. We're not like that. I want you to also subscribe to future episodes of this because we have a lot more coming. There's a ton to unpack in the space of the divorce space, and there's a ton that we can talk about here. I already have about 15 episodes that are ready to go, and we're going to just dive into all the stuff deep to give you the support and the resources that you need. So again, I thank you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, join our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group that is growing, and we're a few hundred strong now of people that are just out there to support one another. Again, no first name, last name, email. That link is in the show notes. It's Preparing Financially for Divorce on Facebook. You can find us there. I'm on Instagram. There's a bunch of other videos that are out there and YouTube and so on. We're just trying our best to put as much information and content out there to support those of you that need it. So I look forward to talking with you again soon. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again.